Welcome to Mayor's Minute on Castanet.net. I'm Dustin Godfrey, and as usual, joined by Mayor Andrew Jacobite. Welcome to you.
Welcome, thanks.
We got a few topics for you today. First off, we're going to start off with the official community plan, which was spoken about this past, I guess, guiding principles were introduced this past week. One thing that was brought up was that it's been about 15 years since the last OCP. In that time, there's been 90 plus amendments to the OCP, estimating about $250,000 to set up this new OCP. Would it not be a little bit cheaper and maybe even easier just to kind of continue updating it as you go along, continue amending it as the issues come to the city?
Well, I think you wouldn't build a home without having a set of plans or blueprint, and if we're looking at building our community, we really need to have a plan to refer back to, and it's 15 years old, and the reality is of what was set out 15 years ago to what we're faced with today is different, whether it is our growth projections, which are grossly off the map. The OCP projected that we'd be at 45,000 people. We're around 34,000 people. In terms of density, where that density should be, we look at our infrastructure where it is now, and so moving forward for land use choices, we should probably have density that's close to where the infrastructure is, or very inexpensive to add or could tie into the infrastructure. So downtown, maybe that's where we need to focus more. So downtown in the official community plan probably needs a bit more of a look at scrutiny or revision. Same with other places of town. What else are we doing to make our town more a walkable city? What else can we do in terms of Parks and Rec? And we have a Parks and Rec master plan, putting all those things together. And it's really a year-and-a-half process, and we're actually dedicating staff to go do that, where right now it's sort of been done off the side of someone's desk, and sort of rough shot whenever an idea comes in, it comes to council, and when the community would come and say, well, the official community plan says this, and you're proposing a development that's different from that, you'd look back, well, that's because the official community plan is 15 years old, and the building code has changed, people's expectations or standards have changed, and so we're trying to create a plan, a backbone that the future councils can sort of stick to and have a bit more confidence that this has now been updated and this is what the community wants, and that engagement and putting this plan together takes time and therefore is expensive.
Sure. But again, I mean, would it not maybe just be easier to just continue updating it as it comes along, or even just give it a bit of a review and look at areas that have been issues or areas that need amending rather than this complete overhaul?
Well, I think that's been part of the problem in the past is just to do updates was expensive, so it never really got done, and so you sort of are making land use decisions at an ad hoc basis, and so whatever the shiny object of the day or shiny project of the day is, maybe you approve it or you don't approve it, and I think if you kind of look at more holistically of building a community, again, you need that blueprint, and I think we've went about things sort of the cheap way of doing things, and you get what you pay for, and really when you're trying to build your community, you want a solid foundation that everyone can latch on to, whether it's residents, whether it's new developers, whether it's new people wanting to come here. They refer to that guiding document, and that becomes sort of that one Bible, as it were, for everything relating to the community.
Sure. And just quickly, where can people have their input on the development of the OCP?
Well, shapeyourcitypenticton.ca is really our online portal for all our committees, whether it's our Parks and Rec master plan, our infrastructure, our budget. It'll be for the official community plan, and we're actually later this month going out to create a task force of, I think, 17 members, different stakeholders from around the community that can help guide this process, be part of that, and then we'll also sort of go out and target certain stakeholders or user groups when we're talking about downtown or when we're talking about the village nodes or density, what's the height for high rises, what should be just single family areas, what should be in terms of parks and grass spaces, transportation, all those sorts of things will have targeted areas. But we do have a task force that's over the next 18 months that will help guide and be that bouncing board for staff as they start putting things together.
Sure. So I guess I wanted to jump from there to the Southern Interior Local Government Association. They have put out a call for municipalities to be putting their resolutions by, I think it was the end of February. And for people who are watching, the Southern Interior Local Government Association would then, if those resolutions are passed, can put them over to the Union of British Columbia Municipalities, which would then, if passed there, put it to the provincial government. So is there anything that the city is considering, or that you personally are considering entering as a resolution for Silga?
Well, so last meeting we just sort of got the letter from Silga saying if you have some ideas, it was calls for submissions. We have till February 24th. And so I would imagine we will probably, over the next couple meetings, put together a report on what we should be doing. Last year we put one in about vacant lands and having that as a separate classification code so we could actually tax that higher to help promote those landowners to think about developing it or making it into more of a public use space so there'd be better return for the community or better value for the community. And things like that was successful. It was passed unanimously at UBCM, and so that's in front of the province to sort of see how they can massage it, because it's not just a problem for Penticton, it's all over the place. So things like that are effective, and I'm sure we'll look at something. We don't have anything to tell you about today, but I would imagine over the next couple of weeks we'll probably develop something and be able to speak to it.
Sure. Thank you very much. That's been this week's Mayor's Minute on Castanet.net. You can send your questions for the mayor to letters@castanet.net. For Castanet News, I'm Dustin Godfrey, and once again, joined by Mayor Andrew Jacobite.